Okay, this presentation is about linking verbs, predicate nouns, and predicate adjectives. We're going to do a little bit of review on verbs before we get started. If you remember the definition of verbs, if you look at your note card, it says, verbs express actions or states of being. So far we've learned all about action verbs. Up until now, every verb we've learned about is an action verb. We've learned about intransitive complete, transitive active, and transitive passive. All of those verbs show action. The fourth type of verb is called intransitive linking verbs. A lot of times you just hear them called linking verbs, and these verbs are the only type of verb that do not show any action. These are your verbs that show states of being. So let's talk a little bit more about linking verbs. Linking verbs, remember, they show states of being, and they link the subject of the sentence with a noun or an adjective. So if you think about linking verbs as acting like an equal sign, they act like an equal sign between the subject of the sentence and the noun or the adjective that they're linked with. And let me show you an example so this makes a little bit more sense. Jason is a clown. In this sentence, Jason is the subject, but he's not doing anything. He's being a clown, right? Jason is a clown. So this linking verb is, this to be verb or state of being verb is, kind of acts like an equal sign. Jason equals clown. Jason is a clown, right? The word clown is a noun, and the linking verb is linking that noun to the subject Jason. Here's an example with an adjective. Jason is hilarious. The word hilarious is an adjective. It is a describing word. And here we have our linking verb again. Jason isn't doing anything. He is being hilarious. State of being verb is Jason is being hilarious, this adjective. So the linking verb is linking the word hilarious, this adjective hilarious, with the subject Jason. So Jason equals hilarious. So you can see how the linking verb acts kind of like an equal sign. And again, hilarious is an adjective. So linking verbs, there are 13 linking verbs, okay? You're going to need to memorize these. The first are the to be verbs. All of these words here, be, am, is, are, was, were, been, being, they're all just different variations of the same verb to be. So if the subject is I am would be the form of the verb. If it were like we are would be the form of the verb. But these are all words that are the same, different forms of the same verb to be. Now, these might look familiar because we memorized these when we did helping verbs. But remember, to be a helping verb, it has to be connected or next to a main verb, right? So helping verbs are only helping verbs if there's a main verb with it. If there's no main verb with it, then these words are linking words, linking verbs. All right, so here's the rest of the list. We've got to be verbs. We've got become, appear, feel, grow, look, seem, smell, sound, taste, turn, stay, and remain. Now, these words are not always linking verbs, but these words are the only words that can be linking verbs, okay? This is your list of linking verbs, and it is going to be a very, very, very good idea to memorize these. So we can pause now so that you can write them down and start memorizing. Let's do some practice. The boy grew. Write down what kind of verb that is. You've got the word grow in the form of grew, the past tense, the boy grew. What kind of verb is that? Write it down. Here's another sentence. The boy grew vegetables in his garden. Again, you've got the word grew, but now it's being used in a different way. What kind of verb is that? Here's a third sentence. Vegetables were grown by him in his garden. There is another form of the word grow, were grown. What kind of verb is that? And here's our last one. The boy grew very tall over the summer. There's the word grew again. Now what kind of verb is that? Here are your answers. Intransitive complete, transitive active, transitive passive, and intransitive linking. If you're not sure about these, you need to make sure to ask questions. Predicate nouns and predicate adjectives. Now, it seems like we're changing the subject, but we're actually not, because there's a special name for the nouns or adjectives that come after linking verbs. And guess what? That special name is predicate noun or predicate adjectives. So linking verbs are verbs that connect the subject to a noun or an adjective. So the special name for that noun is predicate noun or predicate adjective. So here's the definition of predicate noun. You should write this down. Predicate nouns are nouns that come after linking verbs and they rename the subject. And here, alert, 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 this is a new noun job. We've got lots of noun jobs now. So you know nouns are people, places, things, or ideas. And now you know that nouns can do many different jobs in a sentence. Here are some examples. George was king. She is your mother. Mr. Joseph became a teacher. In every case, the linking verb was, is, or became is acting like an equal sign. George equals king, she equals mother, Mr. Joseph equals teacher. And the word that the subject is being linked to is a noun. King is a noun, mother is a noun, teacher is a noun. So those nouns are called predicate nouns. Here's an example with predicate adjective. Predicate adjectives are adjectives that come after linking verbs, and they describe the subject. Here are examples. George was happy. She is excited. The assignment will be difficult. Again, was is linking the adjective. Adjectives are describing words. They describe nouns, right? Happy is a describing word, and it is being linked to the subject George with the linking verb was, so happy is a predicate adjective. She's excited. Again, excited is an adjective. The word is a state of being word that is linking excited to she, and excited would be the predicate adjective. The assignment will be difficult. Difficult is an adjective. It's a describing word. It is describing the assignment, and the state of being verb will be is linking the adjective difficult to the subject assignment. Assignment equals difficult. Okay, so that is linking verbs with their predicate nouns or predicate adjectives. In this lesson, we've covered three pretty big new topics: linking verbs, predicate nouns, and predicate adjectives, but you can see that they all go together. So now we know all four types of verbs, 3 action types here, and 1 state of being type. We also now know 6 noun jobs. You know that nouns, people, places, things, or ideas can do many jobs. They can be the subject of the sentence, the direct object, which receives the action, the indirect object, which receives the direct object. They can be the object of a preposition. They can be the noun of direct address, and now they can be the predicate noun. Okay? 4 verb types and 6 noun jobs. So let's diagram linking verbs. We're going to use George was the king as our example. First, you diagram the subject and the verb as normal. George goes on the left, was goes on the right. George is the subject, was is the linking verb. We're going to extend our line out, similar to when you have a direct object. And we're going to diagram the predicate noun or predicate adjective right after the verb in the same place that a direct object would go. Right? This is where we would put a direct object if we had one, but the predicate noun or predicate adjective goes in that same place. The difference is instead of drawing an up and down line, we draw a slanted line between the linking verb and the predicate noun or predicate adjective, kind of like a forward slash, like that. And the way you can remember that is the predicate noun or predicate adjective is going back to tell us more about the subject. So the line should slant back toward the subject. So what that means is this word king, this predicate noun, is telling us more about George. So you see that this slanted line is sort of pointing king at George. Okay? So it's being linked. The word king is linked to George by this linking verb, and the slanted line is showing you, directing you towards the subject from the predicate noun. Okay, let's try one with the predicate adjective. Oh, first we have to put that adjective in there. So remember that because this is a noun, nouns can be described by adjectives, right? So if there are any adjectives describing this noun, they're going to be diagrammed underneath the noun just like all normal adjectives would be. So now let's look at a linking verb with a predicate adjective. Okay, the ice cream tasted so good. Okay, that's going to be our sentence. Again, ice cream is our subject, tasted is our linking verb. In this case, tasted is not an action word. The ice cream is not tasting anything. The ice cream tasted so good. So basically, ice cream equals good, right? Ice cream equals good. The word tasted is just linking the description of good to the subject of ice cream. So this is not an action word in this case because the ice cream didn't taste anything. The subject is being described by how it tasted. Okay, so ice cream and tasted. Tasted is a linking verb. Good is the predicate adjective. Good is a description word. It describes adjective, or it describes nouns. An adjective describes nouns, and good is an adjective. Predicate adjective, we're going to put the slanted line, and we're going to add good, and this slanted line is connecting or linking good to ice cream, right? And there's that linking verb. Now we've got the adjective the, it's going to go under ice cream, and we've got this word here, so, is telling us how good. How good did the ice cream taste? So good, right? So the word so is going to be diagrammed under good. If you remember, if the word is describing an adjective, and good is an adjective here, it's a predicate adjective, then this word so is an adverb, because adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs, right? And that is how we diagram linking verbs with predicate nouns or predicate adjectives. Here's a sentence I want you to try. This is sentence number 1 in your homework packet. This cheese and pepperoni pizza tastes delicious. We'll pause the video, try to write it and diagram it, and then we'll put up the answer to see how you did. All right, here is the answer. Pizza is the subject. Taste is the verb. We have a predicate adjective, delicious, an adjective that is linked to pizza. And then we've got a bunch of adjectives here, including a compound adjective, all describing the subject, pizza. So we're going to diagram this, and then cheese and pepperoni, all describing pizza. Connect the two adjectives with a coordinating conjunction, and there is our diagram.